feels very high stress, high anxiety. It also just brings a lot of awareness to you are not in the United States.
That's the experience of some North Texas tourists we've talked to stuck in Puerto Vallarta. The State Department issued a shelter in place for Americans in specific parts of Mexico after a drug cartel leader was killed in a military raid this weekend. That prompted the cartel to set fire to vehicles blocking roads to try and halt military operations on Sunday. Though things appeared much calmer Monday, American Airlines and Southwest still canceled all flights to Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta for the day. They're offering rebooking options for customers through the week. As of 4 o'clock Monday, the State Department sent out a note saying that domestic flights in and out of those airports were operating, and they suggested people may be able to book a connecting flight through another Mexican city to get back to the States faster, adding they have no reports of road closures directed by local authorities, though some roads between Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta are not yet fully reopened.
I feel for these people, honestly. You save up all year for a vacation, fly to Puerto Vallarta expecting a relaxing week, and suddenly you're sheltering in place because a cartel war kicked off. Nobody plans for that. And the worst part is, you're completely dependent on airlines that are canceling flights day by day with no real timeline for when things go back to normal. That anxiety of not knowing when you're getting home must be awful.
So I want to give you an update from Puerto Vallarta, and a thoughtful update. Last night was a little unsettling. The resort, where it went completely dark, all the lights off after a certain time. When I looked out the window, it was just black and quiet. They were testing the alarms in the hallway, and that freaked us out. So obviously we stayed in our room. It wasn't dramatic, it was just uncertain. This morning we learned our flight was canceled. The earliest we can leave now is on Saturday. The airport is technically open, but flights are suspended. There are no taxis or Uber running from what management has told us. There may be private drivers, and certain routes have mostly been secured, but most businesses are closed. So I'm not minimizing what's happening. And yesterday's posts were in real time. If you look at the timestamps, we didn't know the scope yet. We were sharing as we were learning. What I do want to say is this: the staff here stayed on property overnight. They were working tirelessly, and I know this affects their own families and neighborhoods, and that puts things in perspective. We are incredibly grateful for the service that they're providing. I'm not even expecting that kind of service. We've been in our room, drinking water, being patient, being respectful. There's no reason to add stress to people who are already navigating something bigger than all of us. And for the people leaving negative comments, I'm sharing what I'm experiencing. Nothing more. If it doesn't resonate with you, move on. I don't need the negative comments. I'm trying to provide information to people. And for a lot of you, you've been incredibly kind and supportive in this situation. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't have to be dramatic and yell and scream and rant and rave. What am I going to do? There's nothing good going to come from that. It is what it is.
This man is handling being stranded in Mexico better than most people handle a delayed Starbucks order. No screaming, no ranting, just drinking water and being patient. Meanwhile, you know there's people at that same resort losing their minds at the front desk, demanding to speak to the manager of Mexico.
Hey guys, so yesterday was really scary, and just want to update you on, now that things are settled, what happened. Around 9 a.m., my cousin started sending a group chat. My cousin sent a group chat that said, there's like fires everywhere. She got to the top of her house and kind of panned around. There was fires everywhere. She's like, something's wrong. And then my other aunt was like, we're in a different city, Guadalajara. Our house is blocked, like our street is closed because there's a semi on fire. Just kind of everybody started saying the same thing. We can't leave. Like, they just told us it's a lock-in and the streets are closed because the cartel is out. Actually, they said it was it was kind of crazy how organized it was. Everybody knew what to do. They closed down the stores, kept everybody safe. But also now we're kind of realizing there was a lot of rumors going around. Pretty much all that happened was the cartel got everybody out of their cars, like robbed them, just had a gun pointed to them and said, get out of your car. And everybody got out. Like, that I've heard of, no one has gotten hurt. I hope nobody's got hurt. I've seen videos of the army getting hurt, but no civilians were hurt. They got everybody out of the stores before they burned them. Costco, I heard, it was just mostly cars, the parking lots and things like that. Cars in the street so that they would block any patrol to get in the city, so you can't get in or out of the city. This was kind of important because my aunt is very, very sick right now. They just got her out of the hospital into her home, but we need nurses to be at her house, medicine and things like that she needs. Long story short, she's okay right now, and everybody's okay. They said everything is kind of calmed down. The only thing I've heard of today was another restaurant was set on fire, but that everybody is okay. No civilians are hurt. Pray that it stays that way. And I think you should probably hear the news by now. It's because they killed the largest cartel, the head of the cartel down there. And that's why they're all kind of retaliating, because I feel like this is a source of money for a lot of people, sadly.
This is the most real and honest account I've seen about what happened down there. No clickbait, no exaggeration, just a family group chat blowing up with fires and lockdowns, and everyone trying to figure out if their loved ones are safe. And what really stuck with me is how she said everyone knew what to do, like it was a drill they'd practiced before. That means this isn't new for them.
Have you heard about what's going on in Puerto Vallarta? Maybe you have a trip booked, or you know someone there. Listen up. Tourists, including Americans, are being urged to shelter in place. Some are also reporting trouble getting home. This is what's on the news today. Good morning. Let me get you up to speed. Violence erupted in western Mexico after the military there killed the leader of a powerful drug cartel. That man is known as El Mencho and is a longtime head of one of Mexico's most powerful cartels. U.S. officials add that American intelligence supported this operation. Afterward, vehicles were set on fire. You could see smoke rising in parts of the city, and the U.S. State Department advised Americans to stay inside. Several airlines have canceled or suspended flights. Some travelers are reporting temporary airport restrictions. Others have said delays or even abrupt cancellations, with others saying they're stuck at their resorts. Officials warn this killing could spark further unrest as rival groups fight for control.
Some Seattle families are stuck in Puerto Vallarta.
Just try to get out of here as soon as we can.
Sunday, Colleen and her family could see plumes of smoke from their hotel. Their flight was scheduled for 4 p.m. Sunday, but before they left their hotel, the staff there gave them a heads up.
We were like about an hour from going to the airport, and we were looking at like a late checkout, and the team here at the hotel was like, hey, you don't want to go.
And this family's not alone. Because it was midwinter break, there are a lot of families that are on vacation. Today, Monday morning, it looks like flights are starting to get back on track. I was checking out SeaTac to Puerto Vallarta. There are 2 Alaska flights this morning that are both on time, and 1 Delta flight. That one is delayed by an hour.
Every time they take out a cartel leader, the same thing happens. Violence, retaliation, roads blocked, flights canceled, innocent people caught in the middle. And then 6 months later, a new leader steps up, the cartel restructures, and everything goes right back to how it was. We've seen this exact movie play out with El Chapo, and nothing changed. The drugs didn't stop, the violence didn't stop, the cartels didn't collapse. They just promoted someone from within and kept going like it was a corporate restructuring. But sure, this time, taking out El Mencho will be the one that finally fixes everything, right? Meanwhile, regular people in Mexico are locking themselves in their houses, and American tourists are sleeping in airports, wondering how their beach vacation turned into a survival situation.